All right, so that was the cool politics. I'm the geeky scientist now to talk to you a little bit about why this is so sexy and amazing. Basically, I'm Josipa Petrunic. I'm the director and CEO of CUTRIC. Thank you to everybody for being here. It was a lot of years in the making, and we truly are doing something that the world is looking at. So there's three things I want to share with you today. The first is, as the minister and the mayor said, this is a global first. And all too often in Canada, we're told, look, your economy is too small, your GDP is too small, you can't actually do anything that is innovative at the global level. You just got to wait for the bigger countries to do it first, and then you follow along. This is a great example of electric buses that for the first time in the world plug and play into multiple manufacturer charging systems, which is good for taxpayers because it means the city of Brampton can get cheaper, faster, better, more interoperable buses in the future. You're not locked into monopolies, and it's good for the world because we've set the world standard for helping cities around the world move to these kinds of interoperable plug-and-play systems. Frankly, I have Vienna Transit on the phone and Stuttgart Transit on the phone. People are calling us, asking us, how did we do this? And how I say it and what I say is, look, you don't have to have the biggest economy in the world to do it. You just have to be the first and the best. And in this country, we have no excuse for not being the first or the best. And this is a great story. The second thing I'd like to say, and a lot of you in the transit industry know this, rewind the clock 10, 20 years, transit wasn't the cool place that people went to do technology innovation. It's not like you came out of your engineering school and you said, I'm going to go to transit. It just wasn't identified as the cool, sexy place. You wanted to go to the automakers, you wanted to go to the rail manufacturer, maybe aerospace. Today, with the movement towards shared mobility, transit is at the forefront. It is where people want to work. And the auto sector knows it because everybody is investing in shared mobility platforms. So the second thing I'd like to share with you is this is now a turning point. Transit will be at the forefront of technology innovation, and we ought to be at the forefront of technology innovation, and transit's going to be hoovering up all the great brains of Canadian students in order to make not just these electric buses, but hydrogen buses and automated buses and shared mobility platforms the way that people move in the future. Because CUTRIC, at our organization, we're dedicated to making mobility faster, cheaper, and smarter for Canadians every single day. And here at Brampton, we have a great example of a city with a mayor that gets it, in a country with a minister that gets it, with a government that gets it, that great low-carbon jobs that are technologically cool are happening at transit, and transit's going to lead the way. So transit as leaders in the future of low-carbon mobility. But the last thing I want to share with you is, look, we cannot take ourselves out of the context. And at CUTRIC, we have a gender parity policy. We're all feminists, Minister. We're all feminists at this organization. And here's what I have to say about transit. In Canada, you probably don't know, you may know if you work on the front lines, women take transit more than men do. And yet most of our transit decision makers and our ministers of transportation are men. So there's a fundamental disconnect between the decision makers and the users of the system. Here's the other thing that we might want to pair with that. Women care more about climate change than men do in this country, at least according to the latest stats. So you put women who are transit riders and demanding better service combined with their climate action commitment, and you're going to now start getting an audience that's pulling and requiring better technology to make lives better for women. So this isn't just about high-powered charging systems, battery packs that turn us all on if you're a geek like me. It's also about making mobility better for women, making women's lives better, and ultimately getting women to work faster, cheaper, and greener than passenger cars could have done in the past. And Minister, I know you've been criticized. I know people have thrown around words like climate Barbie, but here's what I want to throw out there. If you've used those words, apart from the buffoonery and the illogic of it, here's what I would say. We all want to be a climate Barbie, because if you did your research, you would know that there's an astronaut Barbie, a scientist Barbie, a robotics engineer Barbie, there's a beekeeper Barbie. And guess what else about Barbie? She's made bazillions of dollars for Mattel, so she's super successful. Here's my idea, Minister. Next year, let us trademark climate Barbie, because that doesn't exist yet. Let us sell it to Mattel, make $1 billion, and buy more electric buses, because we're on the right side of history, and we're definitely on the right side of technology. So with that, thank you very much. Canada can be a leader, transit can be a leader, and women are going to lead it all. Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you, Mayor.
Now that's energy. Thank you, Dr. Petrunic. We're excited to continue working.